Hey, how you doing? This is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com, and welcome into a short video for Thursday, 27th of January. Don't forget, live stream tomorrow, Friday, the 28th at 2 p.m. UTC or GMT. And we'll do the live Q&A and also talk about some important issues. Today, I just wanted to share a news story with you. Because I want to help you get to the place where I am, and I want you to feel complete and utter contempt for the industry that peddles this drug. I was driving around this morning and listening to Radio 4 in the UK, and they had the chief executive or some senior board member from Diageo Drinks on, and they were celebrating. They were celebrating bumper profits, dramatic increase in profits. And I thought that's when you change the drug, when you step away from what the kind of bubble of unreality we live in, that's such a weird thing for a national state broadcaster to do, isn't it? To have a drug dealer on celebrating with them because they had a good year. I mean, you wouldn't even do that with a cigarette company, a tobacco company these days. Can you imagine them having, Philip Morris on and celebrating with them because they've sold more cigarettes this year? Even that seems weird now. Imagine if they had the local heroin dealer on because he was reporting a bumper 6 months because of the pandemic. We'd be appalled, wouldn't we? We'd say this is outrageous. And yet here is a drug that kills 3 million people every year. Not my numbers, that's from the World Health Organization, 3 million people every year. And national news channels are joining in the celebration when they sell more of their poison to the general population. So Diageo, one of the biggest drinks brands out there, are celebrating at the moment because they've had a very good pandemic. First half sales up 16%. Plans to accelerate their £4.5 billion share buyback. How much money have they made? It does say in here somewhere, but it's something around like $10 billion or something like that. Operating profits rose by 22% to £2.7 billion. There we go. £2.7 billion in the 6 months to December 31st, with its operating margin up by 190 basis points. They made £2.7 billion in 6 months selling poison to people who don't need it. And they're very pleased with themselves, particularly the sale of their gin and their whiskey brands, apparently. So while the news is reporting on this colorful and beautiful story, there's also another news story running today, also running on the BBC, the same channel that just helped Diageo celebrate very publicly. And this is about Northern Ireland. Drug and alcohol harms significant and growing, says Stormont report. A Stormont report into addiction services has said harms caused by drug and alcohol use are significant and likely to get worse. The report by the Public Accounts Committee, PAC, also highlights consistent increases in drug-related deaths over the past decade. The number of alcohol-specific deaths in Northern Ireland in 2020 was the highest on record. There were 351 such deaths last year, an average of almost one a day. Don't forget, Northern Ireland is tiny. It's a tiny community. Most of them in the 45 to 54 or 55 to 64 age groups. And what else does it say? I mean, this is all compounded, of course, by the fact that if you do get something hideously wrong with you, like cirrhosis or pancreatitis, something like that, the NHS is creaking at the seams. You go to your doctor looking to see a specialist in the UK at the moment. Good luck seeing one within 6 months. And that's optimistic. And if you've got cirrhosis or end-stage liver failure, 6 months is basically a nail in your coffin. It's basically a death sentence. So you've got Diageo celebrating that they just made £3 billion in 6 months from selling attractively packaged poison. And at the same time, the number of people dying from alcohol use is going through the roof, fueled by the pandemic, fueled by the narcissistic sociopathic marketing of the drinks manufacturers. So that's it. That's all I wanted to bring you today. Just one short video, because I think the more that I bring you this information, the more I drip feed the truth into the general population, the more your contempt and disgust for the industry will grow. And when you start looking at the alcohol industry with contempt, slowly but surely, you don't want to put that in your body anymore. You look at it like, why would I want to do that? In the same way that you look at other drugs. Other drugs that at the moment your programming is completely perfectly aligned about. You know, you probably look at a heroin user and think, I would never do that. I can't understand why anyone would do it. That's the objective, to get you thinking like that about alcohol. So listen, thank you very much for joining me today. Back tomorrow, live session. We got some special guests coming up next week on the show. I'll tell you about that later. And also we have, if you look down here at the bottom, we have a new Telegram group, which is free to join, free to use. It's a big community of people just like you. We're all there to support each other. You can go and join that now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you get notifications, and drop your comment below. What I'm asking you today is, what do you think about Diageo? Are you celebrating with them? Do you wish them well? Or are you starting to hate them just as much as me? Tell me what you think below. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
Imagine waking up tomorrow. No hangover. No feelings of guilt or regret. Just full of energy and vitality. That goal is not only possible, it's easily achievable. Find out how 200,000 people just like you have rediscovered their happy, sober lives using the Stop Drinking Expert program. Reserve your place on today's free Quit Drinking webinar and get a copy of my best-selling book, Alcohol Lied to Me, as a free gift just for turning up.